So when we look at the fact that there's been roughly 160 some thousand deaths, um, for those under the age of 65, we're talking about 34,000 deaths in the United States. That's less than the flu for those under 65, compared to the total for the flu, I should mention, which is of importance. But we see that we have a very targeted group. If we look at people over 75, so let's just go 10 years older, that's 59% of the deaths. Okay? And we can realistically say if you're 75, you should be retired. And though some people might work by choice, I think most people over that age understand and have the maturity to realize that this is very dangerous to them and they can stay home if they work for choice. If they can't work for choice, we could talk about options related to providing an unemployment benefit or a shelter in place benefit for qualifying folks like them. Because so from the outset, we're talking about 59% of the population, realistically, um, of the deaths, I should say, is already retired, already able to self isolate. If we go to 65, 79% are either well on their way there, or many of them have the option to work from home because many people of that age are in a higher position. So we're looking at a situation where the vast majority, or at least a strong majority, of those who are at high risk can shelter in place. And the remaining folks we look at, only 34,000 deaths, less than the flu this year. So it's clear that we have a group that we need to target, we need to help, and we need to protect, but it's only 16% of the population. And so shutting down the entire economy, making people lose their livelihood, that doesn't seem to make sense. If you look at a state by state basis, we have a state that really stands out for having done a terrible job at handling this. And one of the benefits of handling on a state by state basis is you get to see the losers and you get to see the winners. And New York is a big, big loser in this. New York has about 32,000 deaths as a result of COVID-19. That's 19% of all deaths in the United States, but they only had 8% of the cases. If you look at the mortality rate, just by looking at deaths divided by confirmed cases as our way of determining that here, the mortality rate was 4.3 times higher in New York than California. Why was this, you say? Well, this was because in a panic, living in fear, not being data driven, they decided to make room in the hospitals by putting COVID patients in nursing homes. I'm going to say that one more time. The state of New York, in order to make more room in hospitals, put confirmed COVID patients in nursing homes. That's the fox in the henhouse, folks. They put the people carrying the virus in close quarters with the most at-risk group. That dramatically overstates the deaths in our country and shows that our leadership, in terms of shutdown and the decision they made, has had a strong degree of incompetence. And we could likely say that people would be better off to make decisions of their own in terms of whether or not they choose to stay home.